Hi and welcome back to Pop Collectibles. Today, collectors converge in Sydney for a Joss Whedon convention. Joss is the creator of Buffy, Angel and Firefly. He's one of the hottest new creators of pop culture. We're here with R.D. Price. He is the associate producer of the TV show Angel. Welcome to our shores.
Thank you.
What's involved with being a producer?
Quite a bit, actually. That's a hard question. You know, being a producer, you got to worry about the scheduling, the money, the time. It's really, that's where it leaves the art form and becomes a business. And so if you can just imagine running a small city, once a week for 8 days, that's pretty much what it's like. I mean, from transportation, food, and most importantly, the equipment.
Buffy was like everybody that worked on the show. It was the best show anybody had ever worked on. It was so much fun. It was great. Angel was hell. Just kidding. On Buffy, it was a lot more fun because we all went out and did stuff together. On Angel, nobody had the time. You're working all night long, then you're working, you're up and you have to be in the offices and work during the day to prep, and it's just, you're working 18, 19, on an average day was 18 hours.
And RD, what about the payoffs?
The payoffs are really things like we're doing today here in Australia is seeing how the work that we have done has touched so many people, and that makes you happy. That's you do it because you love. I mean, people do it for different reasons. I love to see people happy and take them on a journey. I take a lot of time to sit down with the people because there are very many people out there that who are interested in writing or directing or producing, and being able to sit with them and tell them a little bit about what happens. You don't really get so much of that from the stars. That people want the funny stories, and they get entertained. Those guys get up there and they're entertainers. I'm a little more boring. I stand up there and tell people about the work.
How do we do it? There's so many of us trying to be writers, directors here in Australia or New Zealand. How do we lift our game and get over there?
I would really suggest making a short of some type. Most people in America do the same thing. Is shooting a short with digital video the way it is now. You can make, just about anything. It looks just focus on your area. Focus on the writing. Focus on the writing. Get with some friends. You produce this, and those are the kind of things you can send out to show what you can do.
This time we've found a comic book artist, Sydney-based as well, and her name is Nicola Scott. Welcome to the show, Nicola. Pop Collectibles. You're certainly making pop culture.
Yeah, it's a new industry for me to venture into, and it's a very odd little place to be, but a lot of fun.
How long have you been drawing comics?
Only 4 years now. It's something that I broke into with quite a bit of determination. I didn't want it to be a hobby, it had to be a career.
So 4 years in, you've already been described by Wizard magazine as one of the artists to watch in the future. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? How does it make you feel?
That was pretty good. It has put me on a new level of renown within the industry. It's quite a small little industry, and getting any kind of exposure through Wizard magazine is huge for a beginner. Every job that I've done since then has come directly from that article.
That is incredible. Tell us some of the titles that you have worked on.
Last year I was working on Star Wars titles for Dark Horse Comics. Previously to that I was working with Top Cow on one of their new titles called Proximity Effect. I've just done Angel Spotlight on Illyria, and that will be followed by Spike versus Dracula.
Fantastic, and we're here at an Angel Buffy convention. Are you getting a lot of fans coming up for the signed autographs?
I am, actually. It's really quite funny. I just did a convention last weekend in Toronto as well. It's quite odd being at conventions and people coming up to you and knowing who you are, being familiar with your work, and wanting your autograph, wanting to hear your stories, wanting to buy your art. It's very new for me. I'm just reaching that level now.
Some of us fans are pretty kooky sometimes when we meet an idol. Have you got any kooky sort of fan stories?
Nothing specific, but there are definitely some people that just want to hang around. They'll stand by the desk all day. They'll see people come and go and chat to you, and they just want to stand there and maybe throw in a line or two here and there, and it's usually completely irrelevant to the conversation being had, but it's it's kind of funny. It's cute.
What is the hardest thing to accomplish as a comic book artist?
The hardest thing to accomplish, the discipline of making sure you sit down at your desk and produce the work. You have to employ that discipline, and I've never had to really do that before. Every job that I've had previous to this one has been me going somewhere, being on time, being answerable to someone else. With this, I'm still answerable to my editor, but I have to discipline myself to sit at my desk, produce a page a day, and that can be really hard sometimes.
If there are comic book artists out here watching today, what do you suggest for them to make it in the business?
Take it seriously. It's a job. I think a lot of people think it's just a lot of fun because they see us at conventions and they see the finished product and they think, wow, wouldn't that be great to have that as a career? And it is great, but generally what you're doing is sitting at home at a desk by yourself all day, every day. And when you're going to conventions to get work, you have to treat that like a job interview. It's a job.
Tell us about what's in your collection.
Everything to do with the 3 shows, action figures, DVDs, books, any movies that the cast has been in, I've watched them, get the DVDs.
What's your favourite item been?
Have to be what I bought yesterday. I actually bought the Angel puppet and the replica scythe that was used to save the world at the end of season 7 Buffy. So that's a large, expensive piece. So,
What sort of expense are we talking?
well, I got it auctioned for a bargain price of $650.
$650 for one item. Are you broke today?
Yes.
Now, you've got a fantastic piece of memorabilia here. There's only 4 in the world, you tell me?
That's correct. Basically, they apparently ended up with extra mugs sent to them, so they decided to draw on them.
Got to ask, how much did you pay for that?
$181.
Holy heck!
Actually ended up cheaper than the other Jill Staite one.
Can you believe she paid that much?
No.
And you also collect their autographs. How many have you got?
I have about 15 people, but I have multiple items and large pictures that I have framed all over my house. So,
And who's your favourite autograph so far?
James Masters, probably. I've met him 3 times and he's a fantastic guest.
And when you go over to Auntie's house, what do you like to sort of look at, play with?
I'm not allowed to play with it, but I look at it and it's actually all in boxes, so it's very hard to kind of play. But I look at him and I adore Spike, so he's kind of the main one I look at.
Everyone says the actor who played Spike, did he give you a kiss?
He did.
What a charmer.
Yep.
You're dressed up as Kaylee, aren't you?
I am, yes.
So Kaylee from Firefly, folks, and from the movie Serenity. And Kaylee's best known as a...
She's a mechanic. She's the ship's mechanic, yes.
Not a mechanic yourself, are you?
Definitely not.
I was going to ask for a cure to the way the oil prices are going. What else could we use, folks? What's your most treasured piece?
I've got a plaque that's got all signatures from the cast and it has a steak that was used on the show.
A true steak from the show, you can't eat it.
No, it's a wooden steak.
Of course. All right, now, good for killing vampires, yeah?
Yes.
All right, now, is your house, like, all consumed? Do you live alone? Do you live with your family?
With my family.
Yeah, and have you got all your stuff, all your collection, all the Joss Whedon stuff in one room, or is it everywhere?
It's mostly all in the study.
In the study. And is it displayed prominently? Can we come around and have a look sometime?
Yes.
Fantastic. We're coming for a visit. What do you think?
Fantastic. Can you bring some cast members?